question here from the audience. I want to get to them. Why didn't you ask what makes them nervous about the state of sports industry or the future of sports industry? So with that, I will. What makes you nervous right now about where we are today, besides calling it legacy media?
I never understand it was in your prepared remarks, the question of nervousness about sports. Sports is ascendant. It's the best place in media to be. Everybody has realized that it's the only place to aggregate a live audience anymore. It's the best place for marketers to reach a large concurrent audience. The prices are going to keep going up. Fans are more and more interested.
You're pragmatic. There must be some headwinds that you get a little nervous about.
You know,
The number of boxing fans?
That's a problem we can solve, so I'm not worried about that, no.
Okay.
Look, I mean, from my perspective, maybe a couple quick ones. One is youth participation, which has always been an interesting one. If you just think about the idea that the more participants there are at younger ages, they engage with sports they like, they follow those sports, and ultimately they turn into media consumers of those sports. So that's one to keep an eye on. I think the other is broader just in terms of how we engage the younger audiences more generally, and ensure that they are served in the ways that they want, with the media they want, with the sports they want.
And that's why we started an esports league in the NBA. So we have 22 teams now have an esports team, just for that reason, to make sure that we're catering to the fans of the future.
Yeah, I do agree that to me seems like one of the seminal issues, which is how to engage the next generation consumer, whether it's in live, whether it's on OTT. Like, what are the ways in which you're going to create the broadest participation in next generation of addicted fans? And I don't think that's clear. I don't think that many of us live the lives of the customer that we're seeking to serve.
Right.
I think we're all a generation too old, possibly two, for some of us. And so I think getting in touch with that next generation consumer is everything.
I'll double down on the first point, which is participation. We have to make sure that there is robust youth participation in sport for the long term, and there are very real threats to that. So, if you said what concerns you, I mean, the reality is I'm living in a world of watching, the sort of unearthing of the realities of abuse that happens in sport. We live in a world where there is a power dynamic between a young athlete and a coach, a medical provider, an administrator, and what we're seeing is that power dynamic has allowed bad actors to do real damage to the human spirit and to human beings. That can't happen, because if we allow that culture to continue to exist in sport, none of us are going to be sitting here in the future, because nobody's going to play.
Right.
And fundamentally, we've all got to play. So we've got to support each other in figuring out how do we make sure that the culture of sport is a culture of human development, where we think not just about the development of performance, but we are equally thinking about the development of human beings and their health and wellness as we do it.